Welcome to Banana Boys. We have a special guest today, which is
Keegan Bayne.
Keegan Bayne. Anyway, we were talking about the military, and that's pretty crazy. You want to continue with that, Keegan?
Oh, military. I have a couple of friends that are in the military. I mean, not both branches. There's multiple branches. But Army and Marines, pretty much. But we were conversing on huge military bases and how they're like small villages.
It's weird. They're
It's
self-sustaining almost. Like,
really, dude, they have like fucking dominoes. You have to get, seriously. Like one of my friends is in North Carolina, and there's a Domino's in the like confines of the base.
Yeah,
and you have to get a security clearance to work there. Like they give you a background check to make sure you're not affiliated with any sort of sketchy shit before they hire you.
So you have to work at Military Domino's.
Yes.
You need to be like an upstanding, like really good.
Yes, like you
work.
can't have anything on your record.
And they just deliver to military, barracks,
and shit. Yeah, like everywhere, and it's literally you are a top secret Domino's employee.
That's
like,
badass.
Do they drive around Humvees and shit?
Yeah,
fucking
seriously.
deuce and a half or something. Dude. Like, I don't know. It's very odd.
Well, I know Caleb, I don't know how his base works, but I know he goes out to get, food all the time. I don't know if that's in the base or,
my buddy, he used to be in California at 29 Palms, and he was telling me that there's a Domino's on base.
Yeah.
They drive around, golf carts and shit.
No fucking
Yeah,
way.
they drive around golf carts. They have, the Domino's topper on the golf cart, everything.
What?
Yeah. And pretty much, they have a military ID they get issued, and they have to apply for it. They get into the base and then go to work. And it's inside the confines of the base.
That would honestly be badass.
It would be. I mean, it'd be cool, but you're still working at fucking Domino's.
Yeah,
how badass can it get?
Yeah, I mean, it can't be much better than what I'm doing now. Well, at least there's some aesthetic to it.
Yeah,
though.
exactly. I'm a Papa John's for Marines.
Yeah,
I'm
Sergeant John's.
Yeah,
Sergeant John's.
That's what it's called there. Sergeant John's, dude. Speaking of Papa John's. I don't know if we talked. No, we didn't talk about this last time because it didn't.
Are you gonna bring up the racist?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. I got a question.
Okay, what?
So, is it just any fucking bystander out in the normal civvy world that can come and work at this Military Domino's? Or is it just military personnel?
You can. It's normal people.
Well, because soldiers aren't going to work.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Imagine getting stationed as a fucking Domino's.
Yeah.
How demoralizing would that be?
What's your MOS?
Domino's. Everybody else
Pizza.
is working and doing push-ups, and you're cooking a
better ingredients,
deep
better.
dish.
Better ingredients, better
soldiers.
Better ingredients, higher weapon grades.
Can I get a tactical 12-inch, please? Yeah.
It's just leaves and
fucking
dirt.
just camo netting.
Oh my god.
No, but you
comes
you
like
go
an
in,
MRE.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that.
You go in and you have to apply for your government ID because a driver's license won't work.
You have to get
you have to be recognized by the fucking government. You know.
Wow.
What I mean? And
wait, already before you apply? Or?
You have to get one, but when you're on base, to get in to the base, you have to have.
So you don't have to have a government ID to apply at that Domino.
No, you could. Okay. I imagine they apply online and then they just tell you what's up. You need this, and this. But
that's fun.
Essentially, that's the way they do it. There's a gate, and then you come in and show them your ID. Then you tell them I'm the fucking Domino's guy. Come in, and then you just work. It was, you know what I mean?
Domino's.
Yeah.
I wonder what the atmosphere in there would be like.
I mean, it would sound fucking awesome. You would hear airdrops and fucking gunshots and all that shit.
I'm sure you could pass by.
Helicopters are a very frequent thing. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Fucking Blackhawks or whatever they're called.
Oh yeah.
And, the funniest thing Caleb sends me, or no, he posted this on his story. I'm sure you've seen it of
dude.
the army. It gets me, dude. It's the funniest thing Caleb posts is army music, really intense, fucking
marching band.
Shit. Marching band army music it's just out his window of army guys mowing the lawn. It's
doing mundane ass activities taking out the trash or something.
Just imagine that, but they're working at Domino's, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not. They're not military personnel, but if they had military personnel that worked at Domino's, that'd be fucking hilarious. They'd get shit on.
Oh, you would have to get shit on.
Oh yeah.
You can't like substitute push-ups and rucking for like making pizza.
Well, because the military is all about bullying.
Yeah. But you just be chilling out at Domino's, like fuck you guys.
Yeah. So they just call you fucking Lieutenant John. Like that's all they would call you.
What's up, Lieutenant John? Bring me some fucking pizza. Do 10 push-ups right now.
Bitch.
Yeah.
You like deliver a pizza to like a high-ranking officer, and they fucking just drill you.
They would.
Like, you want a tip? 50 push-ups.
They would do that just
They
to
put
do
the
that.
pizza on your back, and if you spill it while you're doing push-ups, you owe them $50.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Spill the pizza, go run fucking 10 miles. Put 80 pounds of ruck on
I'm
your back.
taking your fucking golf cart, run back. This is contraband. Oh, damn.
But yeah, like...
Bring up the racist John thing. Right?
Well, before that, I was gonna say that I think those like Snapchat stories of Caleb like doing the music to that, it just captures what the army actually is completely.
Yeah, because it's like hyped up to be the like, and it is the super important like real deal thing.
It is.
But it is mundane as fuck.
Well, it's a job.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it's not like you're not always going to be going commando out in fucking the bush.
You don't have like an
M4
M4 the whole time.
Exactly.
Well, see, what I've thought about is like, I hate working at Papa John's. Like, it's that's why I'm getting out of there. Because like, whenever I'm there, I'm sad. You know? So like, I've just imagined like, I can completely understand why Caleb is like depressed now or whatever. Because like, it's literally like if I were to be at Papa John's, but all the
fucking time.
Yeah.
And
like,
you sign a 4-year contract to work for Papa John's.
Yeah, it's like I sleep there, and that's all I do is Papa John's, and I'm stuck there.
And you have to work out regularly, like extreme, like physical shit.
No, like what Caleb does is fucked. Like, I don't know how.
Is he in the airborne?
Yeah, he's a paratrooper now.
God damn, that's wild.
So he's
Jimi
jumping
Hendrix
out of
was
plane.
an airborne.
Yeah, he was a paratrooper. Yeah, you didn't know that?
You didn't know that, dude?
That
Bro,
dude, he broke
Purple
his
Haze.
foot.
Purple Haze is about like the purple smoke that they laid in DZs in Vietnam.
I thought it was about doing acid.
Everybody thought it was about drugs, but it's if you hear it's some. I don't know the exact lyrics.
Excuse me while I kiss the sky. It's about airborne?
Yeah,
I thought it was about doing acid.
It was a double innuendo.
Yeah,
like, people are like,
yeah.
Not everybody's gonna be jamming out to fucking like go airborne.
Yeah.
It was about how like the purple drop smoke that they used for the airborne in Vietnam because he was in fucking Vietnam.
Yeah, he was.
Well, I guess that's why his music represented the Vietnam War.
Exactly, dude.
Because
I had no idea.
Dude, there was so much shit about it. Like he was in the airborne for a little bit and then got like. He got discharged because he broke his foot. Yeah, and then he started playing in. I think
he played in so many bands.
He played in so many.
He
bands,
traveled
dude.
like across America for real, like jumping between.
Wait, so he was in the war? Like,
he was in it for a little bit, and then he broke his foot. Somehow.
There's a whole documentary on Netflix about him.
Yeah, I had no clue at all.
But like he was pretty much like
a badass.
Broke his foot and then started playing in a couple different bands. He was in He was like a backup guitarist for a really like good blues band.
Yeah, like when every band was like someone's real name, like Charles and something else.
Yeah,
like every band.
It was like I don't fucking know. I wish I knew the band name.
Like
right
Charles and the Rocketeers, or
yeah.
like some dumb
Logan
shit like
Greer
that.
and the Bone Clackers.
Yeah, Logan Greer and the Bone Clackers.
Yeah,
it's just.
And then like he was doing that for a little bit, and then like he got picked up by like a label in London, and just pretty much like made a band out of like Lego pieces. They were just like, we're taking this guitarist, this bassist, this drummer, and then made the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Yeah,
really.
Yeah, and he wasn't even supposed to like play Woodstock.
No,
he was not. Like somebody like couldn't make it, and they were like, "Yo, Jimmy,"
he was like, okay,
he was like, "Fucking okay."
And that's what like
I'll play the national anthem for 3 fucking hours.
Yeah, seriously. You know. It's interesting because that version of the national anthem is just about how fucked up war is. Mm-hmm. Like that's the whole idea behind that version of the national anthem that he played.
Jimi Hendrix version.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
like
he played it with his teeth. And shit. That was a big fuck you to the man.
Yeah,
like
he played a guitar with his fucking teeth. Like he played behind his back, around like behind his head. But there was one show where he smashed his guitar to pieces and fucking lit it on fire on stage. Mm-hmm. Like. Covered it in fucking lighter fluid and just went like.
Imagine that, dude.
Got on his knees.
Imagine if you went to a fucking
especially back in that day, because I would say it's
like
kind
the
of
equivalent
to
Jimi Hendrix would be like what, like fucking. I don't even know.
I don't even know how
well,
you.
no
yeah,
artist is like that.
Yeah,
No,
there's no
I'm like
equivalent.
basic popularity. Like that would be like if fucking Ed Sheeran did some crazy shit
Yeah,
like that. You
yeah.
know what I
Even
mean?
that though, like,
No.
wasn't he not very popular at that
Oh
time?
yeah,
anyway?
yeah. He's
Jimi Hendrix was.
It would be like if you went to a concert and like, oh, there's some guys playing, and then he just
yeah.
does that crazy.
And then you're like, fucking, who is this
yeah,
guy?
this
Like,
guy's crazy. Like,
I'm about it.
Did you? I hope I'm not spreading misinformation, but if I have it right, he played a right-handed Stratocaster left-handed, but he played it upside down.
Yep.
So
that's
so he had the strings facing towards him.
pretty much.
Yeah,
that's
so,
what it was. Cause
like when you play like this, right, the lowest string's on top, like that's like your normal shit. But he would play it
like
with the highest string up top.
Yeah.
and
So
would
he
be
played
like,
it backwards and upside down, and
Yeah.
was still that fucking good.
He played the guitar backwards and upside down, and because of that, like the way that he played, like there's specific Jimi Hendrix shit that can
Yeah.
only like
Only be done.
you can only do it like real Jimi Hendrix shit. If you
Because
play like
think if you
What?
if you flip it around and turn it upside down, like you couldn't get the same finger movement.
like yeah, you're the
Because like
positioning
it would
and
be all
everything.
fucking like
it's
have
just-
some chicken wing fingers.
fucking jazz chords,
yeah,
dude.
It's crazy that he was gonna be just some guy in the military and could have died in the Vietnam War, but he's just that talented.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. He broke his foot. Thank God for the foot
Yeah.
injury.
Seriously.
Yeah.
The entire documentary on Netflix is told through like notes that he wrote to his dad, like as he traveled across America and shit. And like he just sounds so cool.
Well, he was a cool fucking dude.
I mean, he
yeah.
cut fucking slits in his forehead and put acid in it,
Yeah.
and then
Headband.
performed.
Yeah.
How did that work?
Well, you cut your forehead open and you tie, or you like put acid tabs all around the inside of your bandana and just tie it to your head. So
And then it
like,
soaks
it'll
into your
seep,
head.
Soaks
into
into
your
your
bloodstream.
bloodstream.
But it's like right here in your brain, so like that shit will just fucking
Will's
knock right
taking
in the head.
notes. He's gonna
I-
try it.
I'm like thinking about that. I'm like, would that be a noticeable scar? Like,
It depends how bad you cut yourself.
Well, don't fucking gash
Well,
it open.
oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Saw style, but like, put like, I don't know, like a little
Get,
X-Acto.
like blood
Yeah.
coming out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you at least need a blood.
You need
flow.
some blood going,
But yeah, don't hurt yourself.
oh yeah, I mean, I don't know.
We
I
already
don't
know
if
he's
I-
gonna do it
I
now.
honestly,
so
I
we're just
honestly
giving him
think,
a
I honestly think you could like sweat it. If you just put a bandana and like got real sweaty, I think it would
Yeah,
absorb that way.
I'm
too.
sure.
Well, I mean,
It would-
Albert
it would go through your
absorbs it through his
skin.
fingers.
What?
Yeah, the guy that discovered it, like the second time that he made it, like over again. Like the first time, he was doing all these experiments to find like a therapy drug, and then he noticed that like the mice were acting like a little off.
Huh.
And so he goes back to make it again, but he didn't wear like the protective like hand wear,
No shit.
and it soaked in through his hands.
Oh.
And he's like, I'm feeling kind of funny. I'm gonna head home. So he bikes home, and that's why like the day commemorating it is called Bicycle Day. He pretty much,
No shit.
yeah, he pretty much went home, lost his mind. He thought the maid was a witch, and he was like screaming at her,
Fuck yeah.
and like in the corner, like he had a
Wow.
mental breakdown.
And that's the thing is like he didn't know.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
And
He had no
dude, like
idea.
we all know what like acid does to you, but imagine
Like,
not
not
knowing.
knowing.
Yeah,
and
like-
that just fucking happens to you. You would
Yeah.
feel like you're losing your mind.
I
Yeah.
would I'd kill
Oh my
myself.
God,
I'd be like,
that'd be
what is
awful.
happening?
Well,
Like,
I feel like we talked about this in the podcast before, but weren't you talking about how when they were experimenting with it and testing it, they'd give it to people without telling them? And they're like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they
Oh
just
my
lose
God.
their minds.
Mm-hmm.
There was
That'd
a
be terrible.
I don't know if this is fucking true or not, and it might be spreading more information. But last school year, I was in French class with Zeb, and we were working on a project, and we were just reading about old LSD experiments and shit. And apparently, there was this village in France that they like laced all the bread with ergot, right?
Oh shit.
Like,
yeah.
because
I
it
read
grows
about
on
that.
yeast and like wheat and shit, and so they laced all their bread with ergot, and this entire village like tripped for days, and like it went to hell. Like people were killing each other, and like it was fucked. Like,
Dude, imagine like your whole fucking town tripping on acid.
yeah,
Well,
Like,
that's just
no
how
I
one's
would
safe.
not want that.
No, that
imagine worse.
Oh my
like,
God.
yeah. If
dude.
everybody in Warsaw was on that, like it
That
would be
would
on
be-
fire.
oh my
Like,
God.
like, this
Like
place-
the mayor of Warsaw and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
just
cops and
like the fucking
oh
like
my.
oh my God, the courthouse is being turned into a fucking like just a fight club.
Yeah,
like,
seriously, it
oh
would
my
I mean, you
God.
know who the acid heads are. They just be like,
Yeah.
well, I'm on acid.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
but like all the meth heads, dude,
Yeah.
like they would just lose. It's
Or
like,
what about all the fucking white picket fence rich people.
Yeah.
Like
They would. I don't know. I feel like
they
they would be the
John
craziest.
Sylvius
Yeah.
or some
I
shit.
think they would
no,
be the craziest.
It would be, dude. Like anybody, like the people who own the fucking Miller's Mansion. Like,
Oh
can you
my
imagine if they were on acid?
Oh, the old
like,
people in Miller's, dude. That would be so much fun
They
to
would
watch.
die.
Yeah, I think they would. I
Yeah.
honestly
You would
think they
have-
would.
You would have some who knew what was going on, and they'd be like just vibing out,
Yeah.
playing
Yeah.
like bingo or some shit.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you'd have
They-
the other ones
The
just
other ones just
freaking
like,
out.
like fucking just throwing like meatloaf at people and shit.
Dude, a little subject change, but like 2 weeks ago, me, Logan, and a couple other people watched a video of like really old people smoking weed for the first
Yeah.
time.
Oh, it was
It
so fun.
It was hilarious, dude, because
Like-
they had no idea what they were getting themselves into. And there was this one guy on the right who, like, the two other people were pretty coherent. They were like, "This is cool," but like,
Yeah.
there was another guy who was enjoying it, but he had his head down on the table the whole time, like this. And they would ask him questions, and he'd be like, "I just feel relaxed." And he'd be like, "It's so funny."
He'd be like they'd be like, so how do you feel about this, like Steven? And he's like, I think I should do this more often.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I don't know why
You
it
just
took me
fucking
so
balls
long.
deep in a some goldfish.
Yeah, no, they brought out snacks.
No
for
shit.
him. Like they were smoking joints and like bongs and dabs and like.
Oh my
everything.
god,
Like,
dabs!
they got,
If you never fucking smoked
they
weed.
got these old people.
I just don't
stoned.
understand that. Like how old people have never smoked.
Because it wasn't a thing back then.
Oh,
Like,
it
weed
was. It wasn't.
It was, but it
Like-
wasn't.
Well, they were like already adults when it started coming out. Like, you know what I mean? They were like
That-
already like 30.
That and the fact that weed
was
back
so
in the day
hardwired.
was looked at as something
Like
so bad
heroin.
that like
like it was.
Yeah.
Like,
imagine if heroin was like actually good for
Well,
you. Which we know
dude,
it's
like
not.
heroin and cocaine used to be like labeled as medicinal.
Like they were like
Well, I know.
pharmaceutical.
Yeah,
medicines and
exactly.
shit,
They were
yeah.
like fucking feeling down. Do some coke. Like, it's.
I mean, well, no shit.
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
What I was gonna say though is like imagine if heroin was like weed and it was good for you and wasn't
Yeah.
wrong, which we know it's not. But like imagine if it was like that, but we still perceived it as heroin.
As such,
then
yeah.
you just
Yeah.
wouldn't do it. And I think
Yeah.
that's what it was like with weed back in the day.
No,
so like,
that's a good point.
yeah.
Well, a
was
lot of
so-
that shit, it was just to demonize like Mexicans.
Mexicans,
That's
yeah.
really
Yeah.
what it
Yeah.
was.
Because the one guy from the like alcohol prohibition, the
Mhm.
guy that was
Billy
backing
Sunday,
that,
dude.
Yeah.
That he's from fucking Warsaw.
No, is he really?
Yes, that's
What
why.
an
That's why
asshole.
we are one of the only like counties
Yeah.
to like it just got abolished not too long ago, but we couldn't buy alcohol on Sundays because that fucker lived in Winona Lake.
I remember that shit.
Yeah. It's stupid. That's insane. Like Sunday's the Lord's
That
Day.
was because of Billy Sunday.
Billy Sunday. Yeah.
What an
His
asshole.
fucking name's Billy Sunday, dude. Like
Come
that's
on, yeah.
Yeah.
it's insane.
Al Capone
I didn't know
lived in
that.
Warsaw.
Dude,
Well, yeah.
is weird.
Oh yeah.
A magician drowned in Winona Lake.
Really?
Yeah, I was watching.
You
like
try to Houdini some shit?
Yeah, that's what he tried to do, and then he ended
Dummy.
up like not making it out, and he fucking died.
Damn.
There's
Well, the
People are like,
Grand-
where'd he go?
The Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan in Indiana
Mhm.
lives
Lives
in
here,
Warsaw.
yeah.
Lives in Warsaw. Yeah. He, like
Tom Metzger, right?
fucking.
Oh, he moved to
yeah.
California.
But okay, but
Like,
like
Wait.
he lived in.
Well, yeah, he
Yeah.
lived here, but he had to go to California.
wait, what's his last name?
Yeah.
Metzger.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Really?
I hope not, man. Like
It's of relation.
Oh,
It's of relation.
You think
fuck.
so?
I'm
It's not
pretty.
a common name.
It's not
not
that
a
common.
common name.
It's
Now,
not
honestly,
like
dude,
Rodriguez.
All the
Yeah.
Metzgers I've met so far have been related
They
to
do
each
each
other.
other. So,
That's what
like,
I'm saying, dude.
yeah.
Like they may not be directly related, but down the chain, definitely.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
ask.
but nobody's gonna claim.
Well, dude, that dude had a fucking sign outside of his house. Do you know where he lives?
I thought he lived like on the.
Okay, you know, like
Like
you
west
know where,
end of
like
town, right?
yeah, west end of town. Do you know where like the Devil's Backbone is?
Yeah.
Wait, what's the
Okay.
Grand Dragon?
Grand Dragon.
Okay.
Yeah. So like as you're going out to the Devil's Backbone, you take a left down this road, and then there's like a curve, and he lives back there,
Mhm.
and he has like this sign that he would always put like fucking messages on, like not oblivion, like
Like
racist
obvious,
shit.
like
yeah, but like it's like this is white man's country or some shit like that. It would be like that, not throwing like slurs up there. 'cause
But
that
still.
yeah, still,
Yeah.
that's not illegal. You know what I mean?
No,
That's
no,
it's
it's
not.
not.
Like so, he wasn't breaking the law. He was just a douchebag. You
I
know?
mean, it's not illegal to be in the Ku Klux Klan.
It's
which is
not.
Weird.
It's not whatsoever. It's like a fucking soaping club. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like as long as you're not, as long as you don't get caught
Act
doing
on
it,
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
get caught doing any crimes or like burning crosses and shit. It's frowned upon. Like depending on who
Heavily,
you are,
yeah.
heavily frowned upon. But
I mean,
it
shit.
wasn't illegal. They
Yeah.
couldn't arrest him for it.
Right,
But
yeah.
apparently he had like a warrant for his arrest from like Arkansas or some shit for like killing like a group of black dudes.
Really?
Yes, that's why he's not fucking here anymore, dude. He's in California. I swear to God, like I've heard this down the grapevine. It might be completely bullshit, but it's completely believable.
It fucking adds up. Yeah. Like, actually, that's what I'd do if I was Tom Metzger.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, fucking go out to California. I don't know why you would go to the most
Cali.
liberal
Seriously,
state
that's
ever.
The worst place.
But fucking,
unless he's
like,
just
go to Texas, dog.
Yeah.
Like, or like, even like Oklahoma.
Or something. But, like, unless he's trying to bust out, like, a major power move. Like, he just has tons of, like,
or he's trying to blend in as much as he can.
Yeah, he, like, dyes his hair pink.
Yeah.
And, like,
he's like, I'm more like, hello.
Goes vegan.
Yeah.
Like,
he wears, like, capris
and fucking Converse.
He rides a penny board around.
He's like, what's up, like, fellers?
Peace and love, right? The rainbow flag. Anybody?
Yeah. He has a rainbow flag outside. He celebrates Black History Month.
Yeah. He's like, February is my favorite month of all time.
What if he just pulls out some huge, like, he pulls out some huge, like, power move out in Cali, like, where he just
fucking nukes it or some shit.
Like, just makes a bomb, like, fucking...
Just tosses a pipe bomb on that one street in San Francisco that's just, like,
he does all that
gay.
pink hair shit and then changes his name to Tom Metzinger.
just goes by Metz.
Yeah.
Tom Metz.
Hey, you know Metz?
You know
he's
Metz?
a pretty cool...
He's a pretty stand-up guy.
Yeah, he's pretty mellow,
Pretty mellow.
He knew
smoked weed with him one time. Weird dude.
Weird dude. He kind of talked about killing black people.
Yeah, he kind of hates black. I think it was just the weed.
Honestly,
everybody goes through some of that when they smoke. You know?
He was like, "You better not let any blacks show up here. I'll kill them." But like, I think it was just the weed.
I'm pretty sure he was just really high. Like, he got out his gun and everything, but I was like, hey, he's probably just stoned.
He showed me his swastika tattoos. They were fucking...
Anyway, this brought up a good natural transition back to what I was going to say earlier. Is like, I work at Papa John's. And you know, John Schnatter, the head of it, like says,
"Oh yeah,"
it said the N word just like in
a press conference.
Who the fuck does that?
Yeah, I think they were trying to get him fired.
Mm-hmm.
They were tempting him to say it.
Yeah,
they're like, because
he made some.
Say it.
Yeah,
yeah. Like, come on.
I dare you to
he made some bad decisions. Like he got rid of the NFL or like.
Well, yeah, because they were partnered with the NFL, and like he didn't want to be partnered with them because Colin Kaepernick, was kneeling for the national anthem. He didn't want to be associated with that, and it's just like that's a dumb move because you lost your largest sponsorship. I only bought pizza when I saw Peyton Manning on the TV, dog.
Well, yeah,
like, I was like, you know what, man.
Peyton Manning
likes
got
Papa John's.
Peyton is
I should
my
probably
man.
get it.
Yeah.
I mean, if Peyton's got it.
Well, Peyton Manning owned like 16 stores in Colorado, and he just got rid of all of them like right after that happened.
Yeah. Well, why would he? Because it's not associated with the NFL anymore. That's his only thing.
Yeah. And like Papa John,
the dude has nothing else going for him.
Yeah, Papa John lost like a fourth of his like net worth.
Yeah.
Like
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
he's set for life. Like he doesn't care.
Oh yeah, he can throw another one out there.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
He'd be alright.
For all he cares.
I mean, I honestly sure saying the N word in like a press conference probably isn't the right thing to do. But like, are you really gonna ruin an entire like livelihood that this guy's like created because of that?
I mean,
shit?
it was a bad move on Papa's part.
Sure, but like
he's still gonna survive.
Yeah, but he built Papa John's. And,
he is Papa John.
Yeah, exactly. He's not.
Papa John is no longer in Papa John.
Well, it's like that's the thing is like he owned it, but then he didn't. Like he's just been the CEO.
Well, yeah, he was the face.
Yeah.
He was the face.
He was like the Queen of England.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was
he was a fucking
say,
pawn. He was a pawn of John's.
Yeah, he was
pawn of John's.
He was a fucking pawn in their game.
You socially messed up. Get the fuck out of here.
And then Manning dipped out. He's like, oh, I'm gonna dip out now. Like, Peyton Manning is an ugly.
He looks like a hammerhead shark.
He looks like he just has a kneecap for a face.
Yeah,
like fucking.
He's so funny though. He was on like the Justin Bieber roast or some shit on like for some reason. And he was hilarious.
They're like, fucking throw in Peyton Manning. He had something right.
Oh, well, definitely. 100%. But it was still funny to hear him.
He's not that naturally funny.
It was still funny to hear him say it.
Yeah.
Do you remember the one MTV roast? It was like who's that one guy? Rob something.
Rob Schneider.
No.
Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe,
yeah.
Wasn't that very conservative Republican woman on it? And like everyone booed her off stage.
Oh my god. I would love to be on a roast.
Republican woman?
Yeah. It was. I don't know who the fuck it was.
This old bag, like.
It wasn't Sarah Palin.
What was she saying?
No.
I don't. She
was bad. She wasn't
bad.
funny, and she was just saying shit that she knew most of those people wouldn't.
She was just like.
Yeah.
And they
like,
grilled
I
her.
know
Yeah.
Rob Lowe's not Republican, and they'd be like, what the
And then she like looks around to see if anybody laughed,
Yeah.
and people are just flipping her off.
Yeah,
like,
like-
fuck you.
The old back and on fucking stage.
She doesn't care, though. Like, she knew what she was doing.
I would love to be on a roast. I would love it.
That would be so
To
fun.
get roasted or roast somebody else?
Either. I mean, because like even if you get roasted, you have like
You have the end to rebuttal.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and then they can't say shit afterwards,
Yeah.
which would be much better.
You get the last word.
Exactly.
But
I mean,
Plus,
maybe-
like I fucking hate myself, so like I roast myself way better than anybody else can roast me, which is hilarious because like I already have better roasts than what they're roasting me.
Yeah, so like whatever they say is nothing.
It's
to you.
nothing
Yeah.
compared to because I know my shit.
Like,
I know I'm fucked up.
I tell myself worse every day of my
Exactly.
life. Like,
I look in the mirror and just spit on myself.
I think my roast wouldn't even be roast; it'd just be like brutal honesty, and like that's why it would be like so intense. I'd be like, "I'm a fucking piece of shit." Like, they'd be like, "Damn, like holy
This
shit."
motherfucker's not playing.
Yeah, like for real.
Before we start, I just want to say I'm a fucking piece of shit,
I'm a
and
fucking
nothing
piece
that
of
any
shit.
of you will say
Can
will
change
make
my
me
fucking
sad
mind.
at all.
At all, because I'm a bitter fucking dark soul
You
man.
can't hate me more than I hate myself.
Assholes, fuck all of you.
Fuck all of you.
You have anything you like
Don't-
to say, Logan, before the roast starts? I fucking hate
Everybody,
myself.
everybody,
Hate myself.
everybody, drink and drive on the way home.
Everybody, please drink too much and drive home.
Alcohol's on me tonight, everybody. I hope you die in a fucking car
Car
accident.
accident, you pieces of shit.
Yes.
So much hate in my
I
heart.
just want I want somebody that doesn't belong there at a roast. You know what I mean? Like they brought Martha Stewart to a roast.
That's funny though.
That's
the thing.
funny and it works. Like
dude, I think one of them they had fucking Shaq.
Shaq,
dude.
yeah,
No.
it was. I think that was that the Flava Flav one?
That was the Justin Bieber one, I think.
Are you? I don't know, man.
No, dude.
No, that was Justin Bieber. Yeah,
I remember
'cause Snoop Dogg was
specifically
there.
because the joke I laughed the hardest at is it was Justin Bieber like roasting everyone back. He looked at Shaq and he was like, "Yeah, I saw this big building the other day. It's one of Shaq's favorite buildings to climb." And I just lost it, dude. It was so
My
funny.
favorite from that
Wait, why is that a roast?
because Shaq's like fucking King Kong.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My favorite one was when Kevin Hart, Snoop Dogg was sitting right next to Shaq, and Kevin Hart was like, he's like, Snoop, you look like Shaq's skeleton.
Yeah, dude, I remember
That one was fucking great.
It's funny because Kevin Hart thinks he's really funny, so
Oh,
he'll,
yeah.
he'll say shit and then just
Yeah.
start laughing,
Yeah.
dude. It's so hilarious.
It's great.
Kevin Hart is one of the most charismatic sons of bitches that like
Oh,
I've
dude, I
ever
love
seen.
Kevin
He's
Hart.
Kevin
hilarious.
Hart is great. His type of comedy it's fucking.
It's
new.
interesting.
Well, like
but
it's
kind of mainstream, but like
Oh, it's definitely mainstream.
it's funny as
Yeah.
fuck.
I honestly think Kevin Hart, what makes him so like charismatic and shit like that, is he's one of the only like happy comedians that there
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
My favorite are just the depressed
Dave
old,
Chappelle.
Like Dave Chappelle's great. Like Tom Segura.
Oh shit, yeah. I
If
know
you've never
he's
heard
good.
Tom Segura, you need
Have
to fucking
you
watch his
listened to?
There's one guy,
Chris D'Elia?
Yeah, Chris.
shit. Yeah,
D'Elia-
Chris. Yeah,
Dude,
I don't
he
even know how
is-
to say his last fucking
Chris
name.
D'Elia.
Funny.
Chris,
Yeah.
D'Elia. He's hilarious.
He is
One of my
so
favorite
funny.
comedians is John Mulaney
Yeah,
because
John
he's
Mulaney's great.
very like white and nerdy and like definitely like uses that to his strength.
Is he really
Like,
skinny and has glasses?
He doesn't have glasses, but he's very like long and gawky.
Who's,
Oh,
that, who's
okay.
the fucking dude dating Ariana Grande?
Oh, that's Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson, yeah,
Yeah.
he's fucking hilarious. He
Mhm.
he was on a roast. I forget who it was, but I know the joke. It was it was somebody's album. I think it was the Justin Bieber one. Honestly, I think it was.
It might have
And
been.
he said he was talking to Justin Bieber, and he's like, "Man, this new album was honestly the worst thing that's happened in my life." And my dad died in 9/11.
Yeah, dude, I remember that.
And
Oh
that was
my
his like
God.
first ever like because he was on SNL and shit. And that's how he
Yeah.
got on there. But like he destroyed that way, and he's just such this. he's this goofy, awkward ass dude.
His dad really did die.
He really did die. He was like a firefighter or
Yeah.
something and died in 9/11. And like,
Dude, this is the worst thing that's ever happened in my life. And my dad died
on
9/11.
9/11.
yeah. And it was ridiculous.
Because of 9/11.
Yeah.
That's probably even worse.
Yeah, like that's.
See, I fuck with Dave Chappelle so hard because
Dave Chappelle is
he
great, dude.
is one of the most bitter. Like you can tell that he's been through the ringer, like assholes that you can ever meet. But he comes out of it with like this rugged kind of character to him, and it's like, bitch, I know everything. I've been through all this shit. Like, come at me. Like he's cocky as fuck.
One of my favorite comedians is Bill Burr.
Oh, Bill Burr is
because
great.
he's insane.
He's a fucking psychopath.
And like not even like a psychopath.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he's crazy and wild. Like no, he thinks
Yes.
fucked up,
Yeah.
and he completely represents
Exactly.
that
Well,
in his
like,
comedy.
have you seen any of his specials?
Yeah,
all of his specials on Netflix, he talks about population control.
Yeah, he's
Like,
I
fucking
I
wiping
have
out.
this theory, I have this thought in
Yeah,
my head, and it's
yeah.
just him talking.
It's
like
just,
crazy.
it's not like a joke. Like
No.
He's really just ranting.
well, yeah. Like,
So,
I
like-
totally fucking agree with him.
I mean-
like, people need to start being fucking checked in this
Yeah,
world. Like, if
yeah.
you're a dumbass creating more dumbasses, just
yeah.
castrate them. Fucking
Yeah.
done. Like, don't have any more children.
Taking care.
But that's the thing about Bill Burr is like he's funny, but it's not even that he's funny. It's just like
He's so
just
raw.
saying shit that is just completely his raw
Yeah.
thoughts.
And it's like you've
And
never
people are
heard
like,
any
that's
of this
fucked
shit.
up.
The,
They
Yeah.
think it's funny.
the ship, the cruise line.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
that
just wants to
was
sink
hilarious.
like the best way to do it. I'm just gonna sink
Cruise.
random fucking cruise
Yeah,
ships.
and like he would talk about it, like going out on night and then just taking out cruise ships and he made a point where it's like he was like, it's never any good people that go on cruises.
Yeah,
like, it's never,
yeah, I mean,
it's
okay.
always some fucking redneck couple's
Kaufman.
like, we want a cruise, Becky, fucking
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah.
Like, and
He
then
was like, I'm gonna make a whole system where cruises are fucking like some really cool, extravagant thing. People are
Yeah.
gonna build cruise ships and get free rides from them.
yeah,
And he's like,
it's like you'll be talking to one of your friends, like traffic starts to ease up, you like it, then you get a job at the cruise ship factory, start making them. You're like, hey, saving up a little money, I think I'm gonna take my girlfriend out on a cruise.
it's like, and no one's ever known. What evidence is there? It's the fucking ocean.
Yeah,
Fucking up, what are you gonna
sinks,
do?
like-
Like the best part about it is you sink like 500 people at a time.
Yeah.
It's not like,
Like
one
one-
big thing, but you
One and done.
yeah.
Taken care of.
Enough cruise ships, you'll eventually kill off as many people as you need to. Dude, he's so funny.
It's hilarious.
Crazy.
Well, yeah, like it's getting a
But
problem.
he really
like,
thinks that.
Yeah.
Like that's the
I mean,
funniest
population.
part.
I am a firm believer population control because
yeah.
like the only people that have shit tons of kids is shit ass people,
yeah,
dude.
just dumbass
It's
fuckers.
never like a fucking nice little doctor family raising some next level like Nobel Prize
amazing
winning
kid.
kids.
Doctors and like surgeons have one kid.
Yeah.
Because that's fucking you have
Yeah.
common sense.
Yeah.
If you have even
It's
one
always
kid,
the
that's fine.
fucking the trailer park kings down in fucking
They're too fucking poor to buy condoms.
Exactly.
So they just fuck their
Yeah.
sister enough and pop 12 kids out.
top 12 kids out and they
And
create
then-
a whole new fucking incest pool.
Yeah, seriously.
It's ridiculous. The shit needs to
I mean,
stop.
it's fucked up because like they're humans too, but
Well,
it's like
yeah,
it's
but-
true. Like
I mean, I don't
planet
know.
Earth can only sustain so many humans. You know
We
what
need
I mean?
the best of the best.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's why I think of
I honestly, I would go down for the Earth. Like, if population control came to, like, we need to take out some people,
Yeah.
I'll be like, if I'm in that bracket, fucking take me out.
Yeah.
Like,
Go ahead. All right,
fucking
whatever.
get me. Like,
I mean, this is kind of like touchy to say on the podcast. I don't give a fuck. But like, that's why I think abortion should just stay legal. It's because like
I'm just, it's
It's your choice.
It's your
Like,
choice.
yeah,
like
all
honestly,
that
people
shit.
fuck up so much.
I'm
and
I'm a dude, so I have no say in the matter. I don't give a shit. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
really.
care about your kids. Like,
Yeah.
fucking have them, don't have them,
Whatever.
fucking trade them. I don't give a shit.
Trade them. I don't fucking know.
Whatever you want to do, that's your child that came out of you. I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. You can kill that thing if you
Yeah,
want, but like,
exactly.
it's not going to affect me.
Yeah.
But no, dude, we so like, do you know Landon Rourke by any chance?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, so we
you know Landon Rourke?
Yeah, I know his big brother.
Oh,
yeah,
Griffin,
Griffin.
yeah.
We Landon Rourke works at the Tippy Marina.
Yeah.
And so we went there to hang out, and then he showed us this video of this guy who was in testing for time travel in like
In
the
the
1990s, and apparently went to 2,700.
What?
Yeah,
The
and like
population was only 500 million.
yeah, the population was
Damn.
500 million, and like there's no way of knowing that that's real. But the way he had like a full in-depth
Like he can
description
describe
of what the
everything,
whole world
like
was
how
like,
the world
and it's
works.
believable.
Yeah,
Like,
like it
wow.
makes sense.
There
Like,
was,
that
So
is
what did
like
he say?
well,
okay,
like,
there were cities.
Yeah.
So the way the world worked is there were no countries, there were
no government, no
governments.
laws,
There were just
nothing.
these cities, and they would all operate. Each city was its own like county or whatever.
Yeah.
There were no countries or whatever.
But they were
each
self-sustaining.
City was their own self-sustaining county. You're free to leave whenever to go to whatever other city. There were floating cities that could like
go anywhere around the world.
And there was no government, but each city was operated by a really intelligent AI system.
A centralized AI that ran.
And there were the way the law worked is there was the green zone, which is like you're good, and then there was the yellow zone, which you don't really want to be in. It's like getting a misdemeanor, and you go in and you get psychologically evaluated by the AI
in front of like a court of other people.
And the AI tells you what you need to do to like fix yourself or redeem yourself. And then there's the red zone, and once again you get evaluated by the AI, and if they think you're redeemable to be a good citizen, they give you one more chance, but if they don't think so, then you're off right there.
You get killed in the courtroom.
Immediately.
No shit.
Executed.
Damn.
Dead.
But the thing about it is there is no money system at all, and there's no jobs. You can have a job if you want to.
And it's like you should, you know, to help out the community.
But you don't have to have a job. And like the way, he said the system completely worse because the way it was almost like going back to old times where like people realized that the people in their community needed something. Everyone needs something from each other, so they just naturally like do stuff to help each other out rather than like going to get a job.
That is awesome.
But the
it just worked out.
If you don't fuck with that, you can leave at any time, and the outside of that city is just the boonies. Like it is straight earth. Like that's it. And like people will leave and create tribes and like civilizations and shit. Like there's nothing out there. Like it's a wasteland. Like you just go and Mad Max it.
That's
badass.
Cool.
And like
that'd be pretty chill though.
Seriously, be like hang out in the city and just like be safe, and then just go out into the fucking wasteland and like kill people and steal shit.
And the way the money system worked was there was no money, so you could get whatever you want whenever you wanted. And the thing about that is since it was such like that for everybody, then it was never abused.
It wasn't abused. Yeah,
because no one felt like they should get more than they needed.
That's just
because the way it works today is like, oh man, if I could get whatever I wanted, because everyone's
people
greedy.
buy shit that they don't need.
Yeah, because everyone's greedy because it's like all revolved around money and working for it.
Yeah,
but when there's no system like that, people are just like, oh, I need this, and like they'll just go out and get it because they don't feel the pressure of like.
There's no need to have more. Like our society is so based off of like the idea of competition and being better than like your neighbor. So like you want to have more shit, you want to have more money, you want to have a better job, you want to have a better house.
That sounds cool as fuck.
If just hanging out in the city, like I need an apple, so you go like to the apple farm and he hands you one. Like shit, okay, let me tie your shoe for you. Like here's some shit. Like
yeah. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, and like so, what I was gonna say is like, there's no way of knowing if that's like real, if he actually did that. But the way he described it seems like it's such. It seems like it's where we would go.
Well, like that seems like it would. Like you have to completely destroy what the fuck we have now.
Well, that's the thing. That'll probably happen.
Oh yeah, it will definitely happen. But like you have to completely break down the foundation of what everything is built on for that to wipe out. Wipe out like 80% of the population for that shit to happen.
Easily.
Well, that's why there's only 500 million in the world.
Exactly.
No, but he said that there was only 500 million like registered citizens inside of the cities.
Oh, okay.
So like there could be ever expanding population outside of it.
Yeah.
And, like,
but still the way the cities
But still,
work,
imagine how that like how would you like birthing and shit like that'd be crazy. It'd be like a tribe.
Well, I think there was I think there was a birthing system too. I think.
But if you're not in the city.
Like if you're just doing it out in the world.
And like if you're not registered, I would imagine you can't just go in, fucking pop out a child, and then go take that kid out and go fucking wild. Like,
the thing is though is that he said he never left the city, so like he only heard rumors of like what the outside world is like. Yeah. And
he said he spent 2 years there, so like he knew a lot about it. Like that's why he could describe it so well.
But he never like went out into the boonies or whatever. So like my kind of thing is like there could be like however many big population, but there could be like other civilizations. And I was thinking like, how couldn't there like a tribe kind of like raise up and get like maybe old time like weaponry and machinery and shit and go and try and take over like the cities and shit.
Yeah.
But apparently like they're surrounded with enough weaponry to fucking defend from a space invasion. Like if aliens come and like try to take over that city, like they have guns that can fucking like destroy that shit.
And the guy was saying he was like really trying to get as much information as he could because he was doing this as like a learning experiment. Yeah. So he was going around asking like, when was this computer made? Why was it made? Who made it? What happens if it breaks down? All that type of shit.
No
and
one knew.
no one knew. Everyone was like, I don't know,
Because
like,
it
it's
just
never,
had been there for so long.
Yeah, it had been there for so long. No one knew how it got there,
And like there weren't like any history books on it. There was nothing.
Damn.
Like it was just bam.
That's
he,
spooky. Though.
Yeah, right. Like
Imagine
he kind of got notoriety for like asking about that because obviously no one else is going to because they're birthed into that. But he was asking about it, and so people like got word of that. So people like were like, yeah, come with me. So he went to this place, and they were like answering his questions, like kind of like they were like, he was like, who built it? And they were like, well, we did. Like that's pretty much all they said.
Like he got like apparently like invited by like the head honchos.
Oh,
like,
dude, I would be.
But
scared.
the thing is there are no head honchos because this government's run by the AI, or not the government, but this system's run by the AI.
Yeah.
Everyone's equal, so it's like them just kind of just telling them.
Well, like imagine how that would work. Like how would the moral code? How do you program a machine for morals?
Well,
what's
that's the
morally
thing.
right to a machine?
Well, see,
I think
that's
it was.
another thing. Is like.
I think it was really cut and dry. It's just like, well, you fuck up, like you get killed.
Well, there's good AI and there's bad AI.
Yeah.
And my thing with it is good AI has to be controllable by a human being. Like you can't let the bad AI is when you give an AI enough power to act freely, because then they do whatever they want. They rise up. They become more powerful. They build upon themselves.
But who's to say that if it's good AI doesn't exist because it's all based on who's controlling it? You know what I mean?
Well, no. What I mean by that,
exactly. Yeah. So like it's true. I feel like bad AI in a sense is equal because like it has no it's unbiased. You
It's
know
only
what I mean?
doing what it was programmed.
Exactly.
To do.
Yeah. Well, even so, if it taught itself how to do things, unless it's just straight up fucking slaying humanity.
well, no. Here's what I mean
universe.
by that. Like, okay, think about Tesla for example.
Mm-hmm.
Tesla's good AI because like, I mean, like people could
Tesla
try to
AI.
say it's bad because you're like, oh, it drives itself. It's like completely acting upon itself. It's fucked up. It could do whatever it wants, act freely. But that's not the case. The reason why it's good AI is because it has to be turned on by a human being to even be on, and you have to tell it where to go. It can't act freely and go on its own. You have to give it a destination. So it's like you're making the AI.
You're guiding.
You're guiding
it, rather than telling it, like rather controlling it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like that's what I mean by good AI. Is it has to be an extension of a human being rather than a.
Well, like I feel like there should be like with that council thing, like it would be like almost in terms that we can understand. Like the AI was the president, and then you have a house that votes and shit like that. Because like being dictated by one sole like source would be almost unfair.
Yeah,
but it's crazy because it works. Like,
like I think what really could be happening, like sure everybody is equal, but I think that like that council, people that potentially could have invited them, like are people that are behind the scenes potentially work on the AI. Like, but the AI majoritively functions the whole city.
Yeah,
like, it keeps everything running.
It's more or less like a religion type deal.
Yeah,
you know
it's just something.
But there's
that you
people who
follow
work on it on their free will because there's no jobs, so people have to step up and.
Make sure, because that benefits the community. You know?
Yeah.
But another thing that they answered was when the AI breaks, it apparently is just replaced.
Really?
Like by who? They don't know. How is it replaced? I don't know.
Wow.
Like it's just
just there's another one. Like
damn.
So I don't know. And like that's interesting.
What if we got like colonized by like aliens and shit?
And like they just did that.
They just fucking implemented a source to keep us,
like
going.
in line because like we weren't able to do it on our own or some shit.
I would almost enjoy that.
Yeah,
that would bring
cool.
so much like structure and everything.
I would love to live in that time.
Oh yeah,
it would be very peaceful.
I would love to.
You don't have to worry about shit.
Yeah, that would be really cool. But I would be way too adventurous, and I'd go get myself killed outside the city.
Yeah. I would be asking too much questions.
Yeah, I'd be like, I want to go fucking find out, and I'd just like go get shot straight up.
Yeah. Well, it'd be like the book, like 1984.
Yeah,
like it's like you just kind of get curious, like. And be like, well, what's outside this? Well, I mean, I know I would if I was birthed into some huge ass futuristic city.
I'd be like,
what the fuck's outside?
This happen? Like, what's outside of this? Like,
Imagine
especially if it was floating. Like, if you got born into a floating one and you just traveled like above this thing that you never got to the whole time. Like, what's down there?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it's like imagine because if it's in the future, like the city obviously is going to be very futuristic, so there's no like nature. And imagine seeing Earth.
Well, they would probably have nature. They would have like gardens and shit if they're self-sustaining.
But like natural Earth, like imagine just seeing that for the very first time.
Yeah,
that would be crazy.
Like just seeing like full frontal like nature. And,
well, because it would be like untamed.
Yeah,
you know
seriously.
Like,
yeah.
And they say like if humans were gone for like 20, 30 years,
nature would completely take
over again. like crazy.
Yeah,
it'd be
like
fucking
pollution
crazy.
would be solved.
Oh
like,
yeah,
everything. Like if we just were to stop right now, like
if we just even for like a decade,
yeah,
just go a decade without fucking power or anything, just that would be insane. No gas.
Yeah,
I mean power. You kind of need. Everybody could live with no gas. You know?
Everybody.
Yeah, I feel like
electricity isn't even the problem.
Yeah, it's not. It's literally
gas.
just fossil fuels and shit like that. Because like a decade without that would cleanse.
It would be nice.
It would be nice.
Yeah, but you're not going to have everyone give it up.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like that's why there's something when the world changes, something fucking devastating will happen before it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because
like,
it's already too far.
It's already too like that's the same thing with like guns. Like you can't start fixing shit with guns because people already have them.
Yeah,
and just war in general.
Exactly.
That's all we know.
Exactly. That's literally in our fucking DNA is because I don't like this dude. I'm gonna try and fuck with him. You know what I mean?
It's in our instinct. We're animals.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's something huge needs to happen that fucks the population of the world.
I mean,
we're really
it's
like what's gonna happen.
Humans are really advanced.
You're definitely gonna. I know. I'm not gonna live to see a perfect society. There's no fucking way.
Humans are really advanced, but like
we're not.
We started from the not advanced point. It's only grown from there.
Well, you know what I think is weird. I think it like our time, and like I think this is really weird that like we were born at this specific time. Because I think we are in like straight up the middle between like olden days and like the future.
Well, think about that. Like that dude said 2,700. Imagine 700 years ago. That was fucking 1,300. You know,
dude. Yeah.
Like imagine how far we've came from here,
years.
And we think now like we're getting like shit that drives cars. Back then they had like fucking sliced bread.
Well, that's what I mean.
They didn't even have sliced bread.
Fucking for real.
Humanity is so advanced now, but it's also completely
It's weird because like we're evolving into this futuristic state, but our minds and shit are still primitive.
Well,
like,
how in the hell did we come up with TV by ourselves?
Well, like I don't. You know what I don't get at
like
all?
Computers.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't get
it was
waves.
literally like 1940s. We had like barely had cars.
Yeah.
You know,
like the Model T type shit.
Exactly. And then we were just like, shit, like let's make a electronic box that projects an image on it from nowhere.
Yeah.
Through radio signals. Like how did we get from that to there in the span of like 5 years?
See, what I don't get
what I think is weird is like we were born, all of us were born when the internet was barely a thing, and look at it now.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Like
in the span of like 10 years.
Cell phones, like in 2008, were flipped. Like they were flipped.
Like I know that smartphones are like one of the most essential things in our society for science. I don't like that, by the way, but I
it's fucking hate my phone.
Yeah, but you know, we couldn't imagine life without these now because they're so convenient. But when we were kids, these were not a conceivable thing at all.
Not a thought. A touch screen was fucking insane.
And that happened in our lifetime.
Yeah, not a very small 10% of our lifetime.
Like when I was 7, I was like, "You have an iPod 2?
Yeah.
Like, what's fucking touchscreen? Yeah. Like my Game Boy has fucking 2 buttons on it. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that shit's crazy. And now
there's VR.
VR, like the Vive or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that shit.
Just in a span of 10 years.
Yeah, I used to have a VR for my Samsung, and I could go into like Jurassic Park and just be there.
Yeah.
Imagine 40 years from now, dude, what we'll have.
Seriously.
You guys seen Black Mirror?
Yeah, I've seen Black Mirror. I watched the first episode and it freaked me out.
Dude, Black Mirror freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah, I don't fuck with that show actually.
Dude, it gives me so much anxiety.
I watched the second.
Really?
Yeah.
I watched the second episode and it genuinely made me uncomfortable to the point where I had to turn it off.
Which one was the pig one?
Archangel. It was the Archangel one where the mom like plants that thing in her daughter's head and just gets to like see and filter everything. Like I was like,
and she turns it off.
The episode that freaked me out was there was an episode where it's really hard to explain. How the fuck do you explain a Black Mirror episode? It's like a fever dream.
Really hard. It's a fever dream, bro.
Like it's like where the woman wakes up and like all the people are like filming her with cell phones and she's freaking out.
I haven't watched that far.
Oh, dude,
I've only seen the first 2.
I don't know. I think it was season 1 definitely.
But
it's at the end of it you realize like this woman and her boyfriend killed a child, and then they like instead of sending her to prison, they made like an amusement park out of her, where like you can go and you can you live stream your camera so other people know where she is, so everybody crowds around where she's going and shit. And there's like people helping her, but they're actors, so they like help her through this. And then there's like hunters that hunt and kill them, it's wild, dude. And at the very end, they get her to like this safe house.
Yeah.
And then they like tie her up, and like there's like a huge audience, and they all like throw like tomatoes and shit at her.
What the
and then they parade her back to the starting house.
Yeah.
Put her in bed, reset all the clocks and the calendars, and shock her so her memory's gone, and then it starts over the next day. It's the same thing every fucking day. Yeah, it's wild.
One of the ones that blew my mind the most, and I feel like this is one of the most mainstream ones, but whatever. Like, I think it's crazy. It was, I don't know if you've seen it. It was season 3, I believe.
Yeah.
Playtest.
I have not seen.
Okay.
Was that the one with the horror game?
Yes, it was this guy who went to this like gaming company to test a new like fucking whole gaming system, and they implanted shit into his head, and they were like, you know, fucking, you're gonna go into this virtual reality experience, like you're gonna be in the game doing shit in the game. So he puts this on. They're like, oh yeah, don't have your phone near it. It might cause like frequency malfunction. He was like, okay. And then then his friend wanted like the inside scoop on this shit. So he was like filming it, and then like they were like, okay, well we're gonna put you in now. So he just went like that. So his phone was just near on the table, and so they put him in. It was like a whole episode. The whole episode was him in this horror game, and crazy shit was happening. He was freaking out. He couldn't get out of it. Stuff started malfunctioning. It was fucked up.
Yeah.
And then he woke up, but he was still in the game. And he tried to leave, and like crazy shit happened, and then it malfunctioned again, and like he actually woke up, and he was just like he woke up, and it was after this whole episode, and he was like, mom, because he was getting a call from his mom, and then he just died. They were like, yeah, he got a phone call back from his mom like right after we started. I don't know what happened. It had only been 0.3 seconds the whole time from when he went in. When he got a phone call from his mom and died, it was like less than a second.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was.
But he just
crazy.
Experienced all that shit so fast. That's fucked up.
Yeah,
it
was nuts.
Now, I mean, more or less the same thing. But the first episode of Black Mirror, like Space Team or some shit, like a Star Trek remodel, where it's like that.
That was season 4.
Nah, that's the first one, bro. I swear.
Where they're all like on a Star Trek ship.
Yeah.
And it's a video game.
Yeah.
That's season 4.
I swear it is not.
It's the first episode of season 4. I know it is.
Well, I guess me and Meg watched that then. Like, it's where like there's like that nerdy ass like kind of fat CEO guy that works at the video game company like Infinite or some shit, and there's like a new coding girl that shows up. Yada yada yada. The guy goes back home, the fat CEO guy, and gets on his computer and loads up like his video game. And there's like all the people that are at his office like in the game, and like it's fucking normal. Like he's like, oh, you know, like hello, Star Deck.
It's like he has like a mundane, boring job.
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. Like he has like some fucking repetitive ass. So he like comes to this place to escape. Right. The girl shows up. And
it's another thing where you get transported into the game. Like, it's a whole Star Trek universe shit. Like,
it's cool as fuck. So the girl shows up, and next time he goes from the game, she's in there. She's freaking out because she's like, "How the hell did I just get in here? What the fuck happened?"
Well, like, wait, to back this up.
Yeah.
So like when he's in the game, like they each have their own game. Like you go into this whole universe and shit. And in his game, there's like people from his work in there in the game playing as players. But it's like completely normal. Like it seems like normal. Like they're all playing,
acting fine.
Yeah, they're all playing their roles, and then he gets out of it. And there's this new girl at work, and I'm sorry.
No, they're like kind of like flirting a little bit, you know, talking whatever. So he goes back home. Cool, whatever. Next time they get the game, she's there. She's like, "How the fuck did I get here? Like, what the fuck just happened?" And all the other characters are acting normal now, like they would in this fucking office place, because he's not there, you know. But the game still exists, so they're like. Yeah, like he got our DNA at work and put it in like through a processing machine and put us in the game. Like
so fully, they're just stuck in the game.
Like fully like cognitive, conscious human beings, but stuck in this digital universe.
Oh,
right?
But the fucked up part is that he takes their DNA, you know, puts it in this machine, so they're in the game, and it's them in the game, but it's not actually them.
It's not the real version.
So it's their whole consciousness, their whole person,
like their memories
in the game, but the real person in the real world still exists. So it's not actually her.
But it's like a coded, like feel like free thinking, real version of her.
That is...
And what's fucked up is that you can kill it. Like there are ways to die in that, right?
Yeah.
Like only if he lets you, because he's like a god in that universe and shit. Like if you disobey, like he makes the girl's face like disappear and like she doesn't die. He's like, yeah, like you can't die here, but you'll just suffocate until I make your face come back. Like you'll just feel that. And she was like, like, you know, like clawing at him and shit. It's weird. But he keeps all their DNA in like a mini fridge right next to the fucking computer. So like if they die, like he spawns another one.
Oh my god.
And like the first guy he gets in there with, like, is his like buddy, and they started like the Infinite Company together. And he's like the CEO, fat nerd guy, has always been the brains behind it, but like his friend has been like, you know, the face, like the money maker, all that shit. So he puts him in it first, and then he gets the DNA of his son. And like how he keeps his first guy that he gets in there in line is he's like, whenever you fuck up, like I'll just spawn your kid in here and force you to watch him get sucked out of an airlock. Like,
oh my god.
And like watch his body decompress and freeze in space and everything like that. Like it's fucked up. So like, but it ends with them getting out, or like the coded versions of them getting out through an update patch that's in like this thing, and they go through a big old wormhole and they get into the cloud, you know, like but the computer guy, like the CEO dude, is chasing them to that wormhole, right? And somehow through some fucking hijinks in the real world, the real girl that like the CEO guy like has a love interest with, like breaks into his house, steals all the DNA shit, and replaces his like mind chip thing. So he puts it back on and starts up the game, but he no longer has the ability to leave it. So like he chases them, and like she like wipes the drive and everything like while he's unconscious and shit. So his entire game shuts down, but he's just stuck in this black space, and he's like exit game, like exit game. He's like, fuck, like, you know, he's like, I can't fucking leave, like. And it's
because like he was the CEO of it, so like the actual game is like a big online multiplayer game, so like everyone's in it, like doing their own shit, having fun. But his was his own version.
Like it was like personalized, God, like just that. So
just his game.
That's fucking terrifying.
It ends with like his like life of his body with like his eyes rolled back in his head with like the chip thing on. He's just like in his hotel like apartment, and it zooms out and shows like everything else. I was like, what the fuck?
And like the thing is, like it was a kind of a good ending, but still not really, because it was because they were just code. Yeah. It was their consciousness, but they could never leave the game. So the way they just escaped his game and got into the real game. And just spent the rest of eternity in the real game.
In like the cloud or some shit, like the the
cloud, the actual.
And then their actual
real
person
cells
just spent the rest of their lives in the real world, like not knowing that another version of their consciousness is stuck in the game.
Yeah. So it's fucking crazy. Like I watched it with Meg, and I was like, that messed my head up. Like I got
dude,
that
was just talking about it like fucked me up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's one of my deepest fears. Fucking stuck somewhere.
Like it's so weird because like you should be able to leave, but like.
Since his version was in his own game and his own server, he was just stuck there himself in a black eternity forever,
like all alone.
Oh my,
crazy.
Wow.
Until his real mind dies or something.
Yeah. Fucked up. Yeah, it's crazy. And like it's just scary because like a lot of it seems realistic.
Well, the whole show is like real possibilities that could happen.
Like the cloning thing. Did you watch that episode? This couple, her husband dies in a car crash. They just got married and shit like that, and she's grieving and everything. And then there's she's on her laptop, and then like a company like messages her and says like, we can bring your husband back, and she thinks it's a sick fucking joke and everything, and like goes without it for a while, and then like messages them saying she wants to do it, and they email her this bag, this big ass box, and you turn the lights off in your bathroom, you pour this like solution in the bathtub, and then like different protein salts and shit, and then it makes a clone. You have to wait like 12 hours, and it makes a clone, and like he like came out and like greeted her, had all of his memories and everything like that, but it wasn't him. It was fucking weird.
That's insane.
And then like her daughter, they had a daughter, and
is it a conscious being, or
it's a conscious being?
Like it's a real living thing.
It's a living thing, but it knows it's a clone. It knows it's not the real one, and he's like cold, like it's not warm.
Wow, yeah.
So like the daughter meets him and everything, and she gets really fucking confused because like, I thought my dad died, all this shit.
What the hell happened?
And then she like locks him in the like attic because it's so fucking weird. And then at the end of the episode, like it shows like she like lets her daughter upstairs to like see her dad like every now and then, it's like a special like weekend thing.
What the fuck?
And like she opens the door and he's just sitting looking out the window, and then he like gets up and he's like, "Hi." Like it's fucking weird.
You guys really do.
It's so weird.
All right, one more I have to talk about.
Okay.
Have you seen the Black Museum one? So it's a museum filled with experiments that went wrong, pretty much.
Oh shit.
And it's cool because like this one's like 3 different stories, but the one I want to talk about is there was this teddy bear that could only respond in yes or no, or like I love you or I'm sad. That's all it could do. And he explained the whole story. So it was this couple that just had a child, and they were out on a sidewalk, and the wife went to the road, and the husband was like, "Let me take a picture of you." She gets hit by a car, so she's in critical condition in the hospital. And they was like, "Well, there's this new thing we're testing, and you can, your wife's not gonna make it, but you can still be with her because you can take her consciousness and put it into your mind, so she's always with you. She can't control his body or his mind." But she sees through his eyes and can talk to him in his mind, and he can talk to her back, and like shit like that. He was like, "Yeah, I'm like, man, like my wife will always be with me." Like, "Yeah, let's just do it." So he does that. His wife wakes up, she's in his consciousness, and then he's like, "Well, you have the willpower to turn this off whenever you'd like." And he's like, "Okay." So he goes home. It's okay for a while because his wife's in his head. He's like with her kind of, and she can see through his eyes. But then, as you may have guessed, that's not a good thing. No, because it's his wife, and she's always with him. So she's always complaining to him in his head, like, "Oh, don't do this, don't do that. Like, why are you doing this?" He was on a date with another girl. She was in his head the whole time. And so he finally gets fed up with it. He's like, "You can't just keep telling me shit about my life, how to live it. Like, you're always constantly in my head, bugging me, annoying the fuck out of me." So he turns her off. And he turns her on. And so, like, for her, it's a split second. He turns her on, it's like 2 weeks later, and she's like, "You left me off for 2 weeks?" And like stuff has changed and shit. It's like March. So it like doesn't work out again, so he just turns her off. And she's like, "What the fuck?" And it immediately turns back on again. He's like, "Hey," like looking in the mirror and shit, like, "What's up?" And like he's like, "I know you're mad or whatever." And he turns around, the house is all decorated with Halloween shit. So it has been like months.
Wow.
And
dude.
like yeah, he's like, "Well, this is what's been happening with the kid," and like she missed out on all of this in a split second. And so he tries to keep her on, but eventually it doesn't work out, and he turns her on again. I think it's been like 2 years or some shit, and like the kid's grown up more. They're like in school now, but it's like a split second for her. So she's going crazy. He's like abusing it. He's like married to this other woman now, and so since he's married to this other woman, he tries to keep her on, but it just doesn't work out because it's obvious.
Yeah.
And like the other woman like knows this is going on, so she's like, "You better not like say shit to my husband," whatever, like weird shit like that. It's been 2 years, like a second for her. So he's like, "I can't do this anymore." So he goes back, and they're like, "Well, there's another option. You can just put her consciousness in this teddy bear so that she can always be with the kid, like it's the kid's toy." So he puts her consciousness in a teddy bear, and it can only say she has 2 options to speak, and that's it. But her whole consciousness is in there. She can only say, like, "I love you," or "I need a hug." That was it. Either "I need a hug" or "I love you." And so like he gave it to the kid. The kid was small, and this time she can't be turned off, so her consciousness is just stuck in there, only being able to say 2 things for eternity. So the kid has the teddy bear, and it sucks because she's just a teddy bear. But then the kid grows up, and she's still just in there. So then she gets transported to this museum as this failed experiment, and then after you get this whole backstory that her consciousness is just in there, then like it makes sense because it was saying like "I love you" before. So like after you learn all that shit, you know that her consciousness has still just been in there for that long, just sitting in this like museum like exhibit, just sitting in there, and like she's still trying to speak and shit.
Oh,
it's weird.
Fuck. That's ridiculous.
Well, it has been an hour. This has been the Banana Boys. Keegan, thank you for
no problem.
making a guest appearance.
Thanks for having me.
We'll do it again for sure. This has been a good one. And we will see you next time. Logan Guitar.
Hold on.
Guitar me, baby.